another bike ride. It's the 20th of January, a Sunday morning, and I think the river's in flood. So let's go and have a look, shall we? Well, over there is a park quite near to my home. We're at the top of Crawland Road, and that used to be brick kilns in the late 1800s. Then it was a rubbish tip, and now it's a park where you can have a walk round and take your dog. So we're going down Crawland Road now. That's it, that's one of them giveaway chicanes. Just to the right here is Croyland School. All shuttered and barred up now because of vandalism. That place there is now a nursery for tiny tots, but that used to be a co-op store. And in a little tiny shop like that, there was a manager, an under manager and 2 staff. The funeral director is on our left, but we're not even going to take a look at that. And that is part of Croyland Park. There's Croyland Brook running through there. We've cycled through there a number of times. That is the Croyland Cycleway, but I thought for a change, as I've cycled along there so many times, we'd go the Croyland Roadway down to the river. And that is the swimming pool over there. Well, halfway along Crawland Road is the Prince of Wales pub. Recently shut down and then reopened after refurbishment. That's looking back down Crawland Road and looking along there down Monk's Way towards the town centre and the Crawland Cycleway again, but we're continuing up there. Absolute beautiful day it is, lovely clear blue sky. Not a cloud anywhere, absolutely gorgeous. And it's not windy, it's just a little cool breeze, that's all. So this is Swanspool Gardens. Of course there's not anything in the gardens at the moment, but in the summer it's quite a pleasant place to come for a walk. These are all the rose gardens, bowling green. Play tennis in here as well. That's the houses in Doddington Road there, and just through the trees there I can see the church spire, All Hallows Church. A sharp bend here. That's it. Get lots of squirrels in here. Very shortly I would think there's some snowdrops out in the garden at home. So very shortly I should think all the bulbs that are planted in these gardens will also be coming into bloom. Another bowling green there, tennis over there, look. Some lovely trees in here as well. Well, there's pansies there, winter pansies. There's no bulbs as yet, as I can see. There's usually some, well, not give another month, 6 weeks, there'll be some lovely displays of bulbs in here. You can see them all coming through there, look, all the bulbs sticking up, all the green part. So we come out of the park and we're going to go down some steps but we're not going to ride down into London Road, and opposite us is the really old cemetery in Wellingborough, and there's the gatehouse that they're renovating. I thought while we was out we'd take a look in Castle Fields. Looking across there, sort of south Westwood, that's the Icebrook Hospital. That's now converted into private flats, although part of the hospital is still being used for outpatients. And then coming down there, turn around and look at the bandstand in the park. And Sunday morning, and there's a football match going on. And over there's the children's play area with Saxby's sausage and pie factories in the background. Some flats have been built there replacing older Victorian properties. In fact, they're just building that lot. The red brick, they've been there for some time, but that lot there is just being built. And that's looking back to the town centre, and that's the way we're going now. And probably down the walks or somewhere. Well, here we have the walks, a well-known tree-lined walk for 1/2 to 3/4 of a mile from the Broadway crossroads down to the river. And in Victorian times, the gentlemen used to promenade their ladies along these walks, and there was nowhere near as much traffic as what there is now. In fact, it was just horse and carts. What a lovely memory. Over there is one of Wellingborough schools. I don't know what they call that school now. It used to be a girls' school, but now it's mixed. And over this side, through the trees, is Wellingborough's private school, what they used to call the Plum School. Have a look at the front facade of that lovely Victorian building there. That is the front of the school. This is the private school playing fields. They once had a beautiful old Victorian pavilion in there, but one night it got burnt down. Done a lot of extending there. And these courts here, games courts, they've only recently been built. Although boarded up now, that was a big company manufacturing clothing called Gloverall. And also here was another firm called Rubber Improvement, where my father worked in his later years. This is the Dennington Industrial Estate, the first industrial estate ever to be built in Wellingborough. Looking back across the playing fields now, as we get down near the Dog and Duck pub, that's looking back at the Plum School. And also over there now you're looking at the Isbrook Hospital and Old People's Residence, the fire station, and beyond there through the trees used to be Chapman's factory, which they've now knocked down and they're building houses. And then over to the right, oh, they've got a cherry picker there, look, sticking up. That is Wellingborough's latest shopping centre. And the inevitable Pizza Hut. And here right in front of us we've got the Dog and Duck public house, which was built in Victorian times. Sorry it's a bit bumpy. I'll have to get onto the council and get this path re-tarmacked. I say there's no money for that. So there you go. We've just come down there, down the walks. That's London Road. And that's the Dog and Duck. I'll just go past and film it from the other direction because the sun's right in the camera. It's getting very busy now. The shop's open about 10 o'clock on Sunday. That's the Premier Travel Inn, look, and the Dog and Duck has just been revamped. 2 courses, evening set meal for £9.95. And there you have the revamped Dog and Duck. Well, I don't think the floods are as high as what they are some years, because normally this field here has got plenty of water in, unless of course the floods are now subsiding. There's Whitworth's Holdings, flour mills, but they're over the other side of the river. We're just approaching the big roundabout. We've got Tesco on the right. There's also a bowling alley there and DIY stores. Just take the camera off for a moment while I cross this busy junction. Right down by the river now, and you can see that the river meadows are flooded. I wonder whether the water is up over the footpath or not. It's lovely down here, a bit busy with the traffic, a bit noisy. You could say, well, it's lovely in the spring sunshine, but here we are actually in January. Well, the water's actually subsided a bit since I was here a week ago. Yes, it's gone down quite a bit. Although you can see down there on the pathway, the mud on the path, from when the river was up and over the concrete bank. Right, we'll go down to the riverside where it's a little bit quieter. Whoops, a bit bouncy. Just going to put the camera down on the handlebars. Remember, I'm riding one-handed, with one hand on the front brake. Oh well, it's all good fun, isn't it? Just going to get off the bike. I'll do it carefully and try not to shake the camera too much. There it is, there's my Old Faithful. Good bike that. And that's looking under the road bridge, and that's where the river runs out towards Northampton. Nice and warm under there for the birds. There's another one. It's a bit muddy under here. The birds have gone out the other side, you see, look. This is the third or fourth bridge that has been built over the river here. Originally, I understand it was a wooden bridge, and then it's been replaced 2 or 3 times as the traffic has built up and demanded a bigger bridge. But that's the road out towards London, that is. Oh, of course it is. It's called London Road, isn't it? So it's very pleasant, isn't it? Well, this is evidence that the river was up and over the path. It has dropped quite a bit. I would say it's dropped about 3 feet, or even a metre if you're into metres. That's if you've gone continental. But you can see the remains of when it was up over the path, because all that meadow is flooded. Quite noisy down here with the Whitworth's buildings all doing their work. They're the big silos. There's usually a few people down here feeding the swans. I suppose they'll soon be going off to their breeding grounds. This barge has been here for a long time. I don't think it can get out now until the water levels go down. It can't get under the bridge. That's rather lovely there, the colour of the trees and the water. Well, the barge is called the Good Companion. It's got a rake on the top, look. A rake in the weeds and poles to push himself if he gets stuck in the mud. There's a few people down here with bread. We brought our grandson down here on a few occasions.
coming out, you run have a look.
It ain't only children that come here to feed the wildfowl, it's adults as well. Look, there's a chap here doing it. Over the road you got the travellers' horses. Hey up. More horses over there. They all belong to the so-called travelling community. Chap here throwing apples for the horses, look. Wish I could throw that far. There you go. Now that was lucky, weren't it? Lovely shot that. I think we'll just have a ride down here to the old railway overbridge. One thing I love about being out on my bike or out walking around villages, you never know what is going to happen. Nothing is pre-planned. Whatever happens, happens. Like that swan flying up the river. The chap there throwing apples, kids feeding the swans, and with the water up 3 feet higher than this a few days ago, where does it all go? Do they pump it into a reservoir for future use? No, they let it all go out to sea, and then the sea levels are going to rise and wash us all away. Oh dear, cynical. Oh, we've got some more horses down here now. In the springtime you get all the swans down here pruning themselves. This time of the year, what do you get? Well, you get the moles, don't you? Look at that. Yeah. All digging up mole holes, horses, look. Fields are a little bit in flood, not as bad as they were a couple of days ago though. That embankment along there is the old railway embankment. I think you can actually walk along there, and that is all that remains of the Wellingborough to Northampton Railway. Been out about an hour, and the wind's got up a little bit and the clouds are all banking up now, and the blue sky is gradually disappearing, but it's been lovely. It's not been a long cycle ride, just nicely down by the river. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll come again. I'm sure you will. Bye.